Okay, it is day 152 of the war in Ukraine. The Ukrainian First Lady, who was in the U.S. last week, held a summit in Kyiv over the weekend, outlining post-war rebuilding plans across Ukraine, and some very good news to report this morning after Ukraine and Russia finally agree to start shipments of Ukrainian grain through the Black Sea once again to ports across the globe. They have been trying to negotiate a deal now for almost 2 months, that becoming official on Friday. Joining us now for more is Ukrainian Member of Parliament Alexey Goncharenko, who was also in Washington recently. Alexey, good morning. Good to see you.
Hi, nice to see you.
Alexey, I want to talk about your trip to Washington, but first I want to talk about some reports, disturbing reports, odd reports over the weekend that Russian President Vladimir Putin used a body double to his trip to Iran last week, where he met with the Ayatollah and leaders from Turkey as well. Turkey, of course, a NATO country. What's the Ukrainian take on rumors that Vladimir Putin is, in fact, in very poor health? Do you believe any of this?
You know, I can't tell for sure. I will not tell you that I wish him good health. So if these news are true, that is something good, very good news for mankind, finally. But I can't say it for sure. So I don't know what is it, a body double or not. I think that we should not count just on his health, but we should do everything we can now. And, you know, like, praise the God and pass the ammunition.
Yeah.
So let's God do, what is needed with Putin. But we should be ready, and we should do our best to protect our country and to stop this tyranny from him.
I will say, Alexey, if this was a body double, it was an excellent body double. But if this was, in fact, Vladimir Putin, just based on him walking off the airplane and meeting with the Ayatollah, he seemed like he was just fine. But that's just based on the video. Let's talk about your trip from Washington. I know you were in America. How did the meetings go? What did you discuss now that we're 6 months into the war in Ukraine?
Yeah, I was invited to testify before the Congress, Helsinki Commission, which I did last Wednesday. And definitely I had a number of meetings throughout the Hill. I met with the leader of Republicans, Kevin McCarthy, a number of other ranking members in the Congress, Mike Rogers, Mike Turner, Gary Palmer, Brian Fitzpatrick, Marcy Kaptur, Adam Smith, and others. I met in Pentagon, in State Department, in Lockheed Martin Corporation, in many other places. My main idea was to campaign for Ukraine to receive really powerful weaponry.
Fighter jets?
Fighter jets, definitely, that's what we need, and also more HIMARSs with more long-range missiles. That's what we need today, and having which we can stop, not wait before Putin will be very ill, but to do all the job now and to finish this war as soon as possible, which will take back the world to normality.
Yeah.
Without these high spike in prices, high inflation, crises, and other things which were caused by this awful aggression of Putin.
Alexey, did you specifically request fighter jets when you were at the Pentagon? Because on Friday,
Yes.
Okay, I want you to tell me about that, because that would be a significant expansion for the U.S. into the war in Ukraine if we did directly send the Ukrainian Air Force fighter jets. But on Friday, not long after you left, the Pentagon came out and said they are considering, not in the immediate future, but they are considering sending U.S. jets to Ukraine. Tell us about those conversations.
Yeah, finally we have some movement here. And I'm happy that I also made some impact to this. We see that understanding of that Ukraine needs Air Force. And we are running of our Air Force, because what we have today, it's Soviet style. And these MiG, Su, which in 5, 6, 10 months, I don't know, but will be completely run out because we have losses, not such high like Russians, but we have them and we don't produce them. So the only possibility for us to have Air Force, which is vital, is to switch to Western aircraft. And first of all, the best option is F-16, F-15 fighter jets. And finally, we hear that American officials are beginning to say that it is on the table. so that
Yeah.
they're considering the possibility, because before it was just no. Now it is like a much more good answer.
Well,
and I think that
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't mean to cut you off, but you and the Ukrainian First Lady, whatever you said, it must have made a difference. And I think
Absolutely.
I think it very clearly had an
Absolutely.
impact, because the Pentagon held a press conference Friday, literally not long after you left, and indicated that much. The grain deal is a huge deal. What did you make of that? Just in about 10 seconds, Alexey, the fact that Russia and Ukraine were able to successfully negotiate Ukrainian grain being exported from your country.
it became possible only because Ukrainian army showed force and destroyed part of Russian Black Sea Fleet, liberated Snake Island. This situation clearly shows what language does Putin understand.
Okay.
Only one language, a language of strength.
Okay. Alexey Goncharenko, great to see you again. Thanks so much for being with us
Thank
this
you.
morning. We appreciate it.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373, 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.